best Wonder Woman ever? Question mark, right? Because we don't know really, but what we do know is that Sideshow rolled this one out earlier today, right? And it's gone. So it's a waitlisted already. And Kiko, I know you could speak to this one a little bit more. This one retailed, it was $400. So people do want to keep that in mind. I think there's only 300 worldwide of this. That's at least what I saw that Toys Wonderland was saying. However, reputable they are. But basically, this is $400. It was on there real briefly. I know they posted an update, Kiko, and then it waitlisted pretty quickly. What was your experience trying to buy this figure? Because I know a lot of people in the chat are going to probably relate to what you're talking about.
Well, it's 1,500, an entire 1,500 run, by the way, set up by regions. So I'm assuming that is, from what I understand, whenever they do that, unless it's like extremely limited, like 300 worldwide, and they will let you know that if it's the 1,500, Sideshow gets like the 300 allotment, and then the other like 300, 400 is based for, you know, Hong Kong, and then like the other secret bases and things like that, from what I understand. But there's 1,500 of these bad boys. The final allotment for this one for Sideshow, who the hell knows? But what I do know is that I learned a long time ago that if you want the inside scoop potentially for when these things are available, you have to be signed up for Twitter to get the Twitter tweets that things go up. So we'll talk about Batman in a second, but that's when I knew, hey, I need to be on top of my game if I want to be in this system to be able to figure this out. So the tweet went out about 10 minutes. We're talking about Wonder Woman specifically. The tweet went out about 10 minutes before it actually went live. And if you have that as your kind of litmus test, you're like, okay, I need to be ready because it's about to go. So when you get that tweet, you can either click the link directly and it takes you to the RSVP invite list, whatever it may be. And then that link goes live when it's able to be secured. So I'm sitting there and it goes live. I'd probably say it went live right around 350 or so. And I went through, I selected it, put it in my cart, put my method of payment, and then my error, I forgot to click the terms. And so then it spun, and then it put me back in and saying, you need to select your terms. So then by the time after I did that and it started to spin again, then it said you timed out. So I was like, oh no, because if I would have done it originally, I would have had it. Now you'd say, do you need this figure? I'm like, no, of course not, because I just wanted to be on the hype train like everybody else. But if I would have clicked both the buttons, I would have had it. But the issue is that you need to possibly do this from mobile, and you need to have the tweet to let you know beforehand. Because if you're waiting for these automated emails, like everyone said in the system, it's sold out by the time you got there. And you're done. And you can join the wait list and just hope at that point, or go to another preferred retailer to get it. So I have to say, I did not score this one. Spoiler alert, I scored Batman. But I knew that I was this close to getting it, and if I would have followed my protocol that I learned from the Captain America fiasco and such, I would have had it. So that is how it went down. And I know that there are some people in the chat that were able to get it, and there were several people that were just in the refresh page. But you need to be ready to go, knowing that you want it. It was in my cart, I think, with my Tennessee taxes and all that stuff, it was like, plus shipping, was like $468 out the door. That was steep, honestly, but for what you get, the best Wonder Woman ever. At this point, yes, honestly. Now, Will, you and I discussed this a little bit when it was first announced. I was like, okay, now everyone complaining that they didn't like the sculpted hair on the 84 and they liked this sculpt of the golden armor, but they didn't like the hair. This is the mesh of both of those. It's the best of both worlds. You get the full body, you get the proper outfit, you get the cool base, the sword, your lasso of truth, and the cool shield. So what is the issue that people were having? Now, I know you pulled up this figure or this photo specifically because you're like, oh my God, they can't do the hair right. And
that's what I sound like.
it did. But this is also the issue, and we can go right back into it. People were wanting to see, when I complained about the in-art sculpt or the in-art rooting of my Joker, not all of them are going to translate properly. There are going to possibly be some futzing, and here it is. Is it the way that it was supposed to be as the promo pics look? Because they obviously set it up for a glamour shot. I think it looks pretty damn good in the glamour shot. I think that looks awesome. That is Gal Gadot. For those that say it's not, I don't know what you are missing. Like, I don't see how that is not her. I've seen like the comparison shots, the side-by-sides. Where am I missing it? And I'll agree. I'm not the biggest Wonder Woman fan. Outside of Batman, I'm not the biggest DC fan. So there may be some people, you know, that are all in on the J&D life-size bust of Wonder Woman, and they know every pore on her body. But this looks like her to me. And I was like, okay, you want a rooted hair that looks good? You want the silicone, fully posable body and the accurate outfit? What more do you want? So if you were able to follow this and you were actually wanting it and you did your RSVP, if you were following the tweets, you would have had it. So that's my take.
So people, you got to be on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter, so I'm missing all this stuff. I wonder, Kiko, did they post it on Insta or was it just Twitter?
They did post it on Insta, but it's still delayed as composed. Twitter is the source of
Twitter's where you want to go,
because you can't put links in Instagram.
Well, what you can do, Kiko, you probably know, is if you want, I mean, Sideshow, you could put notifications on. So when Sideshow does post a tweet, it'll like go to your phone. You'll know, you'll have that sort of push alert, right? So before I let Marco jump in on this one, Kiko, I think you're fucking crazy. Like, I think, dude, I think this Wonder Woman, bro, like, I am shocked that you like it as much as you do, because
I was considering putting it, obviously it was in my cart. I honestly felt that deep about it to where I'm like,
dude,
what I see Riley text. What's Riley say? It's like an 8, not exactly Gal. Kiko will hate to hear it, but I'll wait for. Oh my god,
Riley, can I bring up Riley's comment?
Yes,
Riley, I'm the host. I'm bringing up Riley's comment. Riley, so I'm actually with Riley here. I'm not waiting for NR because I don't really care about Wonder Woman.
You will be old and gray by the time NR actually.
That's probably true. But I will say, as far as this Wonder Woman is concerned, look, bro. Hot Toys can't do rooted hair. I think it's pretty much established, because
go back to the production photos. This is
every time
intern that brought their figure and put it up at the display. Did you see the clowns that were just like walking around there? They showed like the people putting it together. They don't care. They're just the hired help.
But do you think Average Joe has better skills than intern for Hot Toys, though? I think that's a fundamental question too.
Dude, Marco, I don't even think it matters, because this hair doesn't look good either.
What?
So
what is
all right? Now I know you're tripping here.
No,
hair looks great.
It doesn't, dude. It doesn't. It looks like the doll rooted hair that Hot Toys always does. Like, that's what it looks like.
That is the scene. That is the part in her hair. Where else? What am I missing here?
Dude, to me, this looks like doll hair. This doesn't look like in-art quality rooted hair, in my opinion.
Do we need to go get my damn Joker and let's talk about
your Joker is the exception, bro. You know this.
His was a limited edition Afro version.
Well, like I said,
look at that, dude. I don't. Y'all are fucking tripping, bro.
That is a beautiful picture and
no, it's not, dude. It's not, dude.
Can you pull up a picture of the figure? Because this is a picture of Gal Gadot.
Thank you,
Marco. You're clearly breaking the tie on this one. But dude,
here. Let's do an accurate. An accurate
let's run a poll
comparison or whatever. Pull up the other Wonder Woman rooted hair ones and look at the difference.
Oh yeah, this one's better, but it's not good. It's bad. It's the best paper that a bad student turned in. Like, the Hot Toys is excellent at everything except rooted hair. Rooted hair is the bane of their existence. They clearly have not figured it out, or they don't want to take the time to figure it out.
What is wrong with this one?
It looks like doll hair. It looks very much. It doesn't look realistic. It looks implanted. It doesn't look like legitimate rooted hair. Like, if you look at like some of the customs you see, or I know you had a bad experience, but InArt, for example, with their rooted hair, or if I even look, obviously a bigger canvas, but I look at Pennywise's rooted hair for Prime 1, it looks natural. It looks real. This looks like doll hair. This looks like it was implanted in there, and it doesn't look real. It looks very artificial. That's how I would describe it. It just doesn't look like real hair. It looks like Barbie hair. That's what it looks like to me. The head sculpt. This is the best.
I disagree about a lot.
This is the best Wonder Woman for sure that they have ever
been disagreeing with you.
But I will say, Kiko, I still think the training Wonder Woman is probably the best one. Just because
sculpt or in general,
the sculpt.
Okay.
Yeah, the best sculpt. But that had sculpted hair rather, and it was I think it had sculpted hair, right? It was the ponytail.
Of course,
it was the ponytail, right?
There's nothing to put on there. They might as well just put a Ray figure.
That'd have been pretty cool. That'd have been pretty cool if they did do it. But dude, Marco, I want to let you hop in on this one because I don't want to dominate this conversation. I know you more so side with Kiko, but what do you think about this Wonder Woman? And also, what do you think about how Sideshow rolled this out? Because we got to talk about that.
So I think I actually fall somewhere in the middle of both of you. I know that's me playing both sides right here. So remind me if I'm incorrect here, but Sideshow has had a few different iterations of their system, right? With the Iron Man, the 100-year or whatever, the Disney special edition one. That was a lottery system, right? Okay, so this is back to the Captain America system, which didn't work particularly well when it was for Captain America. And this time, I don't think it worked very well either. So Kiko's completely right though. You've got to be Johnny on the spot. You've got to have all your links queued up. Sometimes these things go up live early, so you just got to be ready to click, have all your information put in. So I obviously was running from a work meeting trying to get over here. So I was maybe 3 minutes late when I saw the link. I clicked it. I had it in my cart. I went to go, even before I went to go check out, I paused. I was like, do I really want this? But I was like, well, it's still up. So let me figure it out. And then it's like, oh, someone else has it in their cart. That's right. Someone else has it in their cart. So I think that was a good indication that I didn't necessarily want it. And so I did try to check out a few times while I was trying to get my mic to work. No luck whatsoever. I don't love that system, but at least this didn't drag out for hours like the Cap did. This was
that's the difference between this and the Captain America one, is that it went on for literally hours. This was over
because no one could get in.
Right. This was over and done in 15 minutes. People were salty that didn't get it, and that was it. And like, okay, join waitlist. We'll see what happens. Someone asked, "Hey, will the waitlist convert?" Spoiler alert, no, it won't. I'll just let you know right now. It's not going to work.
It won't work. Yeah.
But, you know,
so
no one who bought this is going to give it up, Marco, because why would they? Because they could flip it. Even if they don't want it, they could flip it.
Worst case scenario. Exactly. Right. So I think the system has improved. I still like the lottery a bit better, but perhaps this is a good compromise. Now, for the figure itself, I thought that the promotional images looked great. I thought the solicitation photos looked really, really great. And I just barely opened my Wonder Woman 84. So I'm not upset that they created this version. I think this is kind of a premium, kind of trying to compete with that next tier of figure. So I think that's great. And the fact that they did a limited run, also great. So I thought this looked really nice. Something that I wanted to for sure try to attempt to get, but not something that I'm super upset that I didn't get. I think for a few reasons, because it's just like the Wonder Woman 84 in terms of body, different colorway, but it's pretty much the same exact body. I bought a third party shield and sword for $20 on eBay, so I feel like I have my kind of bootleg version that's good enough for now. And then I know this gets said on every stream, so apologies to you and apologies to everyone in the chat, but I'm going to wait to see what InArt does, right? We know unless they really unless they completely change their next phase, it seems like they're going to do a strong offering with Gal Gadot, and it's going to really compete with this one, right? So it might even be near the same price point. So overall, I wasn't super disappointed that I missed out, but I'm happy to see Kiko take some really high quality pictures of it. And I'm sure that it's going to be nice, but it may involve a little more futzing than we're prepared for, right? Because InArt shipping their Jokers and probably the Gandalf soon with those the plastic containers to kind of preserve the hair. Now I get that's kind of hit and miss, and some folks had some issues, but overall, I think that was a successful way to transport. I wouldn't be shocked if Hot Toys throws it in with a plastic bag and it's just like, you figure it out yourself. So we're going to really find out what their premium rooted hair looks like. So overall, I think it is a nice figure. And hopefully they do more releases like this, where they're trying something new and it's a bit limited. So
they're saying mid-June is when they're going to potentially start shipping already. It says June to December is the release window.
Yeah,
that's how it should be for these.
Batman was like that too, wasn't it, Kiko? July to December or something like that?
Yeah, and I love to see that. When you do have these exclusives and stuff, that's the one thing I didn't like about the D100 Iron Man, is that it's still like a year away. I like the hype of, hunting, trying to get this, and knowing that if you did score, you're going to get it in a couple weeks. That's pretty cool.
That's the only way they should do it, honestly.
We'll see, Marco, and I want to follow up with you guys on this one, and we can talk about this when we get into Batman too. And I'll ask the chat the same question. By the way, Kiko, the chat is agreeing with you. They like the rooted hair. However, it's 69 to 31, so I'm coming back. Nice. I'm coming back. Nice. I'm going to win. Yeah, 69 is a great number. But I will say, if we talk about, do we like this process? Like, because this is something that collectors may, I think a lot of us some of us are a little bit resistant to the idea of exclusivity. We don't want it for every single figure. We want most figures to be widely available, a wide release, so to speak. But we do like seeing these every now and then. That's something exclusive, and that's something like outside the norm, right? And as much as a lot of collectors say, like, I don't really care about exclusivity, like, it doesn't really matter to me. But then this happens and everyone seems to want it. Right. And that's when I think, like, that's what I like that Hot Toys is doing this. I don't want every figure to be exclusive. Don't hear what I'm not saying. But I do like this rare one every now and then where they will make some fun little exclusive like this. And again, as much as I don't really like the hair, or the head sculpt's okay to me, the base is incredible. The body's incredible. The outfit's incredible. The accessories are great. Everything else. But do you guys like this process? Do you like what Sideshow did here? And do you want more exclusive figures? Marco, I'll start with you on that one.
Yeah, I think I do want more exclusive figures because it is fun. Like Kiko was saying, it's the thrill of the hunt, especially if it
Right.
comes kind of immediately or not too soon after you order it. It does add a nice new dimension for a hobby that's pretty exhausting, waiting years plus for most releases. This is a cool little wrinkle to, kind of inject some excitement. Now, I will say I like that they've chosen ostensibly repaints for most of these limited, right? So the Iron Man, the Captain America, even this Wonder Woman is almost a repaint with just some different hair. So I think if they stay within that realm, I'm totally fine with it because it's just variations of characters that you could have an opportunity to get at retail. And if you miss out, then okay, you just missed out on this particular version, but go get another version for cheaper. Now, if they did a character exclusively that you couldn't get anywhere else via this system, I think I would be pretty upset. So let's say like Namor is a character I wanted for a while. If
Dude.
they did a limited run Namor, which they wouldn't do, but let's just say they did that, and I missed out, I think I would be pretty upset. I wouldn't want to go spend $600 to go secure him somewhere else. So I think if they stay within this kind of this business model, I'm totally happy. But how
What do
about
you
you,
think,
Kiko? What
Kiko?
do you think?
I've always been the proponent of give me a shot. I want an opportunity to try to do something. I've never, this may be a surprise to somebody. I've never bought a lottery ticket in my entire life. I've never been,
Wow.
I've never played a slot. I've never been to a casino to do it because I don't waste my money. Some people's like, well, you have room full of toys, so obviously you waste your money. But I, I never put money towards something that I know that I don't have an opportunity to get something back from it. So a lottery system, I don't like it because I want an opportunity. Yeah, I'll put my name in and see if the ball drops because it's a free lottery, obviously. But I want the opportunity because with that being said, is that if I really want it and I love the exclusivity option, and let's say that I don't get it. Say Wonder Woman is who I got tattooed on my ass, and that's who I really, really want. And I'm like, oh, this is the one, and I missed it. I then know that, okay, this is one of the ones that I really need to chase and put some money aside or not get a dumb figure that I don't really need because this is the one I have to have. Because yes, these will be available because people will evidently, obviously, put them up for sale to make some money, whatever it may be. That's fine. But knowing that I had an opportunity to get it, if I miss out, it's okay because then it gives me a reason to chase. Because that's when it comes to collecting for me, I want to feel that chase. I want to feel that, I have something that somebody doesn't have. I know I've said that before and it sounds elitist or anything like that, but I love looking at collections that are different from other people's. How many times do you want to see the exact same display over and over and over again? Yeah, that's great if everyone likes the same thing, whatever. But that's why I try within my collection to put some pieces in there that I know people don't have. That's why I have, this 1/3, Venom statue because there's not that many of them out there. That's why I have, certain pieces in here because like why I paid for the Blitzway Ghostbusters because not everybody has them and I'm okay with that. And by knowing that, then I can chase it. So yeah, give me an opportunity. And if not, it really ratchets it up that tier level. You talk about tier-based collecting. This is how you know if you really want it or not. Because if you missed out on it and you said, oh, I need this, then go get it and figure out how you're going to go about doing so. And then when you do retrieve it and you actually get it, you can say, okay, grail item, because I actually pursued and I actually got it. Not everything's a grail because the Mark 85 original is not a grail figure because there's 50 million of them made. That's not a grail figure. Something you chase and actually obtain because it's limited, that's I feel is more of a grail figure. So there's my little rant on that.
Okay. Well, I like hearing that because to me, I mean, it is kind of cool to have a little bit of both. I like the best of both worlds. I think what Hot Toys is doing now is they're kind of testing the waters and being like, what if we do a couple more exclusives here and there and see how people feel about it? I mean, I really like having that Wenwu exclusive. I think it's pretty cool. Because yeah, I mean, I think it's a cool thing. I mean, it's a cool thing to kind of have exclusive piece. I wouldn't want everything to be like that because like I said, I do want people to have ample opportunity to get the figures they want. And it would be very frustrating if every figure were exclusive and then you wouldn't be able to get that Darth Vader that you want or that Cad Bane you wanted. So I like that they're doing it's a couple exclusives here and there. It doesn't really hurt anyone. It's an exclusive, every blue moon, right? So I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, I think having like a summer showcase, having a couple exclusives here and there would be kind of cool too. You know what I mean? Like do something Like, for example, do a small run of something that, you know, not everyone would buy. But for example, like the Black Order, right? I've said that for a while. Like if you did Black Order and say, okay, we're going to do exclusive run, maybe we'll do 500 of each of them or something, right? And like, you know, that'd probably be fine. People would probably go crazy. I know I would pay whatever I had to get them. So, you know, it
would really give collectors a check, essentially, to check themselves if there were a few more exclusives. Because how many times do we see people, oh, got this because I could, don't really want it. If there were things that weren't as readily available, I feel like there would be less impulse buys. Yes, these are probably impulse buys because people are like, oh, exclusive, I need to have. But the more you do of those, the more that becomes the norm. We're like, I don't really need it. I'll chase it if I don't get it, type of thing. I feel like this is a good way to even out and almost not dilute the secondary market, but like try to get something back to normalcy, because it's collectibles, something that you collect, to where there's got to be not a mystique about it, but chase something. It shouldn't just be readily available all the time, like a mass-produced thing. Yes, I know there's 50,000 of these out there. I get it, but I hope I'm trying to make sense about some of that.
I think this is a good compromise, though, Kiko, because I like Hot Toys because you can get them readily available, right? If you want it, you can normally get it. But I'm okay with them peppering in certain things that are a little more exclusive, as long as they kind of stick true to that. If you want it, you normally can get it, except this one that's a little bit more rare. I think that's a good compromise, because I don't want this to become like sneakers, because shoes are just so frustrating to try to get. You know, I tried to get those Miles Morales ones, had no shot whatsoever.
Yeah.
And that's your only way you can get that in any way, shape, or form. So that's a bit more frustrating.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I remember back, you know, it's crazy. It doesn't seem like that long ago, but trying to buy a PS5. I mean, oh my God. Like it was the most frustrating experience of my life. I feel like trying to buy anything. Like, you know, I would wake up super early, just wait for the drop be on. The website would crash, could never get one because all the bots would swoop in. Like it was just such a pain in the ass. Like,
Wario 64 saved my life many times.
Dude. I think that would be a good compromise, guys. So thank you for your thoughts, guys, in the chat, and of course on the panel for your thoughts on this Wonder Woman. Let's move on right to our next topic.